copying and not stapling things. So you want a page that looks like this. You want a page that looks like this. And you want a page that looks like this. And that gives you 3 pages, 5 printed pages, that's the full agenda. And thank Mr. Askew for that. He got it done. We had some logistical issues late in the day.
There. Good.
Okay.
So Linda, didn't realize you saw that emperor thing.
Running late. I'd like to get started.
Yeah.
We have an agenda.
I thought that was one of the highlights of that meeting.
Oh, that was old though. That was 2010 or 2012.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Okay. Please get your food and please have a seat.
They're all up there at the table.
Yeah, there's a page or 2, printed pages, page 1.
Third page is
budget stuff.
budget.
All right, have a seat. Okay. All right, well, we're waiting for the last folks to get something. This everybody's aware, this is the Granada Hill South Neighborhood Council. This is our general meeting, July 3rd, 2014, 6:30 p.m. We have a medium-length agenda. Our hope is that we will not keep anyone here as late as it was last month.
Oh, yeah.
I want to thank Mr. Askew for dealing with that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the agenda.
Yeah.
That was sarcastic.
Okay, I think we're almost ready. We do have a quorum tonight. The absence of Mr. Matthews due to a business commitment, I'll be doing some of his tasks. Yeah, I was waiting for Corinne and Sally to get settled.
Do you want me to sit down and wait?
No, get what you need. I'm just gonna ask you to stand up and have the pledge and make the pledge in a moment.
While we're waiting, are we missing a page from the agenda back here?
Double
Both
sided.
sides, double sided.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Call to order. We commence every meeting with a pledge of allegiance. I'd like everyone to please stand. Right hand over heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Okay, Here. Mr. Askew? Here. Mr. Matthews is excused. Mr. Schindleheim? Here. Benedetto?
Here.
Mr. Bohr, you haven't been sworn in yet, so I'm not gonna call on you. Ms. Burst? Absent. Absent. Ms. Crawford Velasco? Absent. Mr. Dosh?
Here.
Dunlap?
Here.
Ms. Greshner?
Here.
Mr. Karuna? Ms. Colstead?
Here.
Mr. Lopez? Mr. Mansker? Here. Mr. Summers? Mr. Trinidad? You called me today. Presume he's on his way. Mr. Trammell?
Here.
Ms. Wu Friedman?
She's gonna be late.
Mr. Cabo, our parliamentarian, is here. We have 2 open seats. Okay, in the absence of the secretary, I'm going to I'll just table the approval of the minutes till August. Okay, my apologies. We have a quorum present, so we're going forward with the agenda.
Make a motion to postpone the minutes review since we don't have.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion or opposition to tabling the minutes? Okay, seeing none, thank you. Okay, public comment, community public comment on non-agenda items. Public may present concerns to the board on any interest of the community. Board will not be able to discuss or take action on any matters brought up during public comment. However, issues raised during public comment may be agendized for discussion at a future board member meeting. I believe we have 1 written request and 1 person standing and another physical request. So since I have 1 person who stood up,
No, go ahead, let me go first.
I'll let
Please.
the young lady go first as well.
okay?
I'll shrivel this.
That's you.
Thanks. So, I know that there won't be action on this tonight, but just for general comment for future consideration. I'm here to ask the neighborhood council for a letter of support for the plaza proposal. And I'm not asking for money, I'm not asking you to become a community partner, because that's not an option anyway. I'm just asking for a letter of support. Because the neighborhood council is the only organization that exists to act as a voice for the community. Every other business organization that Granada Hills has exists primarily to advance the business interests of businesses. And I don't want to present this as community versus business, because that's really the opposite of what this is. It's not hard to see how foot traffic and inviting people to linger in our central business district enhances the business district's appeal and success. And the last time I spoke at a general meeting of the neighborhood council, it was quite rightly pointed out that I hadn't yet done enough outreach to the business community. So I walked door to door on Chatsworth Street between Zelda and Yarmouth, and I got 14 signed letters of support from business owners. And those 14 letters matter, but also so the opinions of stakeholders who live and shop in this community and whose needs those businesses exist to serve, not the other way around. But the Rotary Club Foundation Board voted against this plaza proposal, and their reasons for doing so is, quote, "We don't know of one business that's in favor of this project. They mistakenly also believe that the plaza would block the alley. It will not. I learned that Granada Hills bid voted against the plaza after their executive director answered 0 phone calls and 0 emails. Afterwards, when I spoke at their public comment and mentioned the fact that we're closing in on 1,000 petition signatures, the bid president told me, quote, "I couldn't care less if there's 30,000 names on a petition," end quote. Because their sole mission is to serve the commercial property owners, understand that. And the chamber president said in a comment to plaza supporters on Facebook, quote, "You have no skin in the game. The businesses there and the landowners are the only opinions that matter to the chamber," end quote. Okay, that's fair enough, that's the chamber's purview. But where can the public go to have their opinion matter, to have their skin in the game? The neighborhood council is the public's only voice. Going out on food trucks, we've got all these petition signatures in favor of the plaza, but opponents say that doesn't matter. People come from all over the place to the food truck night. So I say, Okay, would you like me to show you how many of the signatures are from people with a 91344 zip code? And then they say, well, that doesn't matter. Those people aren't business owners. So I say, well, we've got 14 signed letters from business owners. And then they say, well, that doesn't matter. They're not property owners. My question for you is this: when do we start to matter? There's this constant shifting of the bar, and we're constantly hearing this message: we don't matter. We've raised money on Kickstarter, and excuse me, I'm nervous. And while it's not a staggering sum, if you believe that every dollar is a vote, that matters. We've got high school kids walking through there every day, and they could use a safe place to be in after school. They matter. We've got tons of pedestrians walking through there every Friday night. They matter. BID's sole mission is to represent business interests. Rotary represents business interests. The Chamber represents business interests. So this council is really the only option the public has for a voice, where the public gets to matter. It would be really great if there could be at least one organization in this town that says to the Kickstarter donors, the petition signers, the 14 business owners, the public, and the community, you matter. Thank you.
All right,
Let the other gentleman go.
fair enough. Mr. Reed is beginning of his time to use.
Mr. Reed? Mr. Reed is yielding to me. Okay, I've seen Mr. Reed before. He's been here before, I think. Hi, everyone. I'm William Kuzman. It's really nice to be here tonight on the eve of a nice holiday weekend. Just really want to thank the board for upping the agenda posting and getting the emails out and everything up. I was really pleased. The links were on the agenda, which was really great. The same thing is happening with the standing committees, so I'm really, really happy about that, and I just wanted to thank you for that. Also, after, I'm going to read, because I prepared. I attended last month's 3.5-hour marathon meeting. And based on my experiences while attending other neighborhood council meetings, I had some suggestions for streamlining time-efficient meetings. The first is to start using speaker cards for public comments. And this does two things for us. It also eliminates the need to ask for public comment at every agenda item if we already have speaker cards. And set a maximum time period for discussion of agenda items accordingly. And not that it's a rule, but at least a guideline that might help shorten our meetings a little bit and get more done. Other helpful ideas for the stakeholders were to create an optional sign-in sheet to be in the back. One of the suggestions was to make sure we had everything in the back, and you did that tonight, so that's great. I don't have to ask for it. I'd also like to see the neighborhood council set a goal to have monthly newsletters in publication by January of 2015. I know it's something that would have to take a lot of people and a lot of effort to get something like that going on a monthly basis, but I really think that it would be a great thing to outreach to stakeholders and kind of give them advance information of what's going on. I also have a request for a change on the website, changing the text hyperlink on the Old Granada Hills Residence Group and make that text only, and put the link in the community resources and local organizations where everybody else has their link posted. I wrote this up so you can read my request, but rather than me read it here, I take more than my 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reed?
Yes, my name is Mark Reed. I was the congressional candidate in the June 3rd primary, and I want to thank everybody for your support, if you supported me in this room, because I'm now the elected candidate moving on to the fourth general election and challenging the incumbent. I'm a lifelong resident of the San Fernando Valley. I've owned businesses here my entire life. I remember when, as a kid, when we woke up at the crack of dawn, we were able to take off and go out and play all day, and come back home and the street lights came on. And you didn't fear your mom and dad or the police or the government, you feared your neighbors because they were watching after you. If you did something wrong, they told your parents, and you got a licking when you got home. This kind of atmosphere has changed in today's time. We're afraid of our neighbors, we're afraid of our government, we're afraid of everything anymore. And I would like to see change that we can trust finally. The San Fernando Valley is a house to one of our final VAs. It's a Bolton VA, and I've worked real hard for the last 6 years to try to salvage that and bring it back to a full-fledged medical facility and mental health care facility. I am a member of the Woodland Hills Tarzana Chamber of Commerce, and California is one of the few states that do not recognize our veterans on the California driver's license. So I proposed a resolution. They accepted it, it passed their board, it went on to the state assembly, and last month, Assemblyman Bloom picked it up and wrote up a bill. And actually it's AB, 1637, and it's passed the assembly already. This helps out our veterans to be recognized in all California, VSOs, VAVs, the Veterans Administration, and also with law enforcement, because 20 to 30% of our law enforcement are ex-military. And so this gives an opportunity even for our businesses to recognize veterans because they give discounts. So they'll see the driver's license when they look at the credit card or their check and say, oh, you're a veteran. We give 10% off. It's an opportunity to honor, as we are tomorrow and the 4th of July. Our independence is a great nation, but we owe it to our veterans. And we need to acknowledge our veterans and say thank you on a daily basis, because the only reason why we have freedom and an ability to speak freely and work hard and have our families is due to our veterans. But I'd like to have your continued support on the general election November 4th. I think the neighborhood councils are very vital organizations to be able to hear the community's voice, and I would pledge an allegiance with the neighborhood councils and all our chambers of commerce to represent the West San Fernando Valley and the families and what they need in each individual. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Okay, do we have any other community speakers? Yes, ma'am. Please identify yourself.
My name is- Good evening, everyone. My name is Jen Menard, and I'm a volunteer for the American Cancer Society. And I just have some exciting news for Granada Hills. Our annual Relay for Life event is coming up in August, right here at the school. It's going to be August 23rd to the 24th. It's a fun way for the family to come out and help support all of our teams who have been fundraising all year round. There's going to be lots of games and music. We start off by honoring all of our cancer survivors and patients who are going through treatments. We have a nighttime ceremony where we remember all of those that we've lost to cancer. And at the end of the 24 hours, our happy relayers who have been there, they're so excited. They're ready to pledge to continue to fight back against cancer. So we want to make sure that we see all of you guys, if you're able to come on out. It's a great event. It's free to come in, but if you spend money, know that it's being donated to the American Cancer Society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any other community speakers? Okay, we have any more public speakers? We have a community speaker, Tanya Ornes from House District 12.
Hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July weekend. My name is Tanya. I am a representative for Councilmember Chamberlain. Here are my updates. I have quite a few here, so I'm actually going to just read off my notes. Okay, first off, so this is from the 27th of June. The council voted to support the EPA's Clean Power Plan program, and that seeks to significantly cut the carbon pollution from existing pump power plants by 2030. The council, this is from July 2nd. Council voted to appoint Ms. Soletta Reynolds as the new general manager for the Department of Transportation. A little background on her, I know that she comes from San Francisco, and she works on People Street projects. If you're familiar with what we're doing in Los Angeles, she's done work such as that and making streets more friendly for multimodal